I am so excited and so happy. My husband just gave me this last night. This is a new Vitamix, and I have never had a Vitamix. I've always just had a cheaper blender that I used, and he gave me this for an early birthday present. He decided to give it to me early because I'm ready to make some pizza sauce and some salsa and different stuff like that. And I've always used my big Victoria strainer. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's a crank thing where you have to crank all your tomato sauces and all your apple sauces and make it by hand. So now I can just pre all my tomato sauce, and I think it'll be a lot quicker job. So I'm very excited for this. He spent a lot on this. This is one of the best Vitamixes there are. I think there might be one or two better, but this is it's called the Ascent series, I believe. I think that's how you say it, Ascent or something like that. So, and I have not yet tried it, but I'm going to try it here very soon. Hey, welcome to Montana Haven. Today I am going to be making some of my good pizza sauce that I really love. It's called pizza sauce, but I use it in spaghettis, I use it in lasagna, and I use it literally in everything. It's just my pasta sauce. I don't make any other pasta sauce. I use it for pizzas, and I'm using a lot of my own tomatoes. It was a really good tomato year here in Montana. Often the tomato years aren't very good. Don't do the best, although I always plant tomatoes because I love fresh tomatoes. But I actually have some to can this year. Plus I picked up a few more boxes from our country store. So what I'm doing first is I'll have to wash the tomatoes, core them, and make a sauce or a juice, like a tomato juice, so that I can use that for my pizza sauce recipe. So that's what I'll be doing first, is washing and coring my tomatoes. Now, I am not gonna peel my tomatoes to make a sauce. I'm just gonna puree them, I think that's probably how you say it, in my beautiful new Vitamix blender. So I can't wait to try it out. Also, I forgot to mention, I am in a different kitchen. If you have noticed my other kitchen, I have like these teal colored cabinets, rustic cabinets with barn board centers. But I am down in our basement apartment. We had renters in here for a year or so, and we had a few different renters over the years, and I've not been in my basement much. But we don't have renters anymore right now, and so I'm gonna turn this kitchen into my canning space, which will be so nice. I won't have the mess upstairs. I will have it down here in my basement area, which is a very nice area. It's a nice living space, so I'll be working down here in the kitchen.
I started out by coring all my tomatoes and cutting them in half and taking the bad spots off of them. But if I do it again, I would probably quarter them just so they fit better in the blender.
I have washed this thing, made sure that it was clean, and I sliced the tomatoes in half so that they fit in here better. And so now I'm going to try this for the very first time. I actually don't know totally how to use this thing, so you're gonna watch me learn. What else did I want to say? I have this thing to punch the stuff down if I want to. And I'm just gonna start it on a little bit low setting for right now because I don't know what to expect. So let me see if I can figure this out. No. Let's see. Okay, let's press play. Like it literally pureed the skins, the seeds, and everything. And I think it makes for a nice, thick sauce. I get my THs and S's sometimes, like my tongue twists up with it. So weird. Let me see here. Whoa, this looks just amazing. I don't know if you can see that, but it's just a thick, nice sauce. I think I'm gonna like it. So I washed up a bunch of jars, and over here is all my tomato sauce. Look at all that tomato sauce. This is a big canner full. And so it's more than I need for pizza sauce. So I'm going to need to just can some sauce, some tomato sauce. So that's what I'm going to do, which would be very nice because I will often use sauce for tomato soup or tomato gravy. We sometimes make a tomato gravy, and I just love to have sauce on hand. So it is very important to wipe off the rims of the jars so that there's no sticky residue on it or any type of anything on it, so that it's just very clean, so that the lids will seal correctly. If there is too much food particles or anything on these rims, it makes so that the lids won't stick so well or won't seal so well. So I always clean the rims off nicely with a warm, clean rag. Okay, they're all clean. And now I have enough here for 2 canners like this. There goes seven cans in each canner. So I am going to do that, and what I have here is some reused lids. These lids I used last year on like tomato products or applesauce. I will reuse lids once if they're not used for like canning meats or beans or anything that takes a lot of time in canning, like pressure canning. I'll just use them for, I'll reuse them if they were only used for some cold packing, like that only take like 20 minutes to process. Then they're always good to reuse. If they're not dented or there's nothing wrong with them, I'll reuse them. So I'm very happy for this because this year I can almost not find canning lids. Everybody's buying canning lids for some reason, and so so the prices are very high. And so I was glad for the ones that I saved. So that is what I do, and I always cook them. Like I heat them up and boil them a little bit. That just helps them soften them up and get them even cleaner, so that they'll just adhere to the jars better.
There is always a lot of work that goes into canning, preserving, and freezing your own fruits and vegetables and meats. But there is also such a wonderful feeling of satisfaction that goes with it when you see your jars all full and your shelves lined with jars of just fruits and veggies and meats and whatever else you want to can, and your freezers filled up. It just, knowing that you will be able to sustain your family for the future for a long time is such a blessing.
So I brought these up here because I'm going to need the stove down there to cook my pizza sauce. So I'll be canning this up here, and I'm going to fill them up with warm water. I'm out of breath coming up the stairs. Fill it with warm water till just to the top of the jars, and then I'll let it heat up and boil for about 15 to 20 minutes, and they'll be done. So I'm happy for this tomato sauce. I didn't add any salt to it. You could if you want. I just thought I'll season it once I open them. So the sauce is over here warming up, heating up, and the next thing to do for our pizza sauce is cut up a lot of peppers, onions, and garlic. So that's what I'll be doing right now, and I'm gonna blend everything up very well and just pour it into my pizza sauce. Now some people will saute their veggies, like their peppers and onions and garlic, and then put it in their pizza sauce, which probably would taste very good, but I decided not to do that just simply because it what's Autumn doing? What was I saying? Oh, I'm just not going to saute it because I don't want to spend so much time. I'm kind of in a hurry. The day is going by and I want to get this done.
This Vitamix is an absolute time saver and such a blessing. I am so grateful to my husband for giving me this for my birthday. I will use it over and over and over again. There are a few tricks to peeling garlic. One is to smash the garlic with the ends of your knife just a little, and that way the shell will come off a lot easier. Or you can put them in the microwave for just a few seconds and the peelings will come off a lot better.
Blending all of these peppers, onions, and garlic together, and so now I'm just going to put half in here and half in here. I have, I'm doing double the batch, so it only says for 9 quarts of tomato juice, but I'm doing 18 quarts, so I have to have 2 stock pots. So I'm going to put half of these onions, peppers, and garlic in each, and then let that cook up a little. I'm just going to go approximately. I'm not quite sure what is half. Starting to smell good. It still needs a lot of spices like oregano and different things like that. Starting to cook up. The onion and garlic and pepper give off such a good aroma. It's simmering nicely, and now each batch takes 4 cups of sugar. Yes, that sounds like quite a lot, but I like my pizza sauce a little bit sweeter, and this is what the recipe calls for. So I have like cane crystals type of sugar. It's a little bit more raw. It's like a raw sugar that I'm putting in here, and I have to put one more in the next batch. Here, and then it's like 1/4 cup of salt goes in each batch. So I have a half cup here, and I'll put half of it in here, and half of it in here. Next, I have a tablespoon of oregano. Give a heaping tablespoon. I like a lot of spices, seasonings. And then a tablespoon of basil. I'm almost out of this. Hope I have enough. I think I will. Yep, I've got plenty. And then it's like 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning. Now it takes 1.5 cups of oil, which I think really makes for a good sauce if there's some oil in it. So I've got to do that. Does it smell good, Chloe?
Yeah.
It smells really good, doesn't it? Now I just mix it all up. Oh, it's starting to smell so good. I wish you could smell it. It just smells so good. It smells like an Italian kitchen. And then I have to let this simmer I have to cook it down a little bit, simmer for about 35 to 40 minutes. And then after that, I have to add some tomato paste, which will help it become very rich and thick. What are you looking for, Chloe?
I saw something up this around.
Yeah. So now I'll just let these simmer, and I'll clean up mess while I'm waiting to put the tomato paste in.
So here, I just got done putting all my tomato paste in, and now it's almost ready to go into the jars.
So I'm just finishing wiping off the rims of the jars, and then I'll pop on the lids and the rings, and then I'll pop them in the canner, and I'll let it heat up and boil for about 20 minutes, process for about 20 minutes, and then I'll be done. I'm pretty tired, but it's such a wonderful feeling. And I'm gonna taste this pizza sauce. It's so amazing. I could eat it right down like this. It's really good. And I'm sure it's not the best pizza sauce recipe out there, but for me it's the best.
By now it was late afternoon, and I was getting tired, and I knew my children were coming home from school soon. So it was with great thankfulness that I put the last of the jars into the canners to process.
Okay guys, this is like 2 mornings later, and I usually let them sit, the jars, for a day or two just to completely, totally cool off, and before I put them in my can room area, in my storage area. And I will not remove the rings until these are completely cooled off, just to be safe. And I just removed all the rings and wiped the jars down, cleaned them off, and now I'm just gonna pack them all to my can room and store them in there. I don't necessarily enjoy canning that much or preserving food, but for me it's just the satisfaction of seeing all my canned goods in my room there, and knowing that I could sustain my family for quite a while on just all my canned goods, on all my things that I preserve, all my frozen foods. Yeah, we could, as a family, we could live on our garden things for many months just by preserving and canning and freezing. So I feel very blessed. here I have them all nicely stacked, and it's such a good feeling to see my shelves fill up. And right over here is my tomato sauce or juice. It's kind of between tomato sauce and juice, and that I had made, so I put it over here. And then here's my pizza sauce. So my next project probably will be salsa, applesauce, some pears. I already did some peaches, and later when hunting season starts, I will can some meats, some chunk meats, some bolognas probably, and some canned bologna. And I don't know what else, some pumpkin and some squash. And I'm gonna fill up these shelves. And maybe sometime later this fall, I'll do like my canning room tour. I'm not sure what to call it. It's not really a root cellar, it's not really a cold storage. It's just where I store my cans down here in the basement where it's a little cooler. So someday I'll show you, maybe give you a tour of my canning room and maybe of my pantry, my freezer, all my freezer foods. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe you want to try my pizza sauce recipe. You might even have a better one. If you do, share it with me. I would love to hear about it. So thanks so much again for watching and subscribing. We love you all. God bless.